Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? KMB the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and we're talking about Monday Night Raw on the New World Podcast, brother. August 28th, 2023. Michael Cole, Wade Barrett on commentary. We're in Memphis, and we start the show off with the Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt tribute cards. The wounds are still fresh, and we still miss you both dearly. But we started off with Michael Cole saying they wanted to entertain you, and that's what we're going to do as well during these hard times and tough times for everybody. We start the show off with the great match, Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest. This rivalry is heating up. And JD McDonough comes out to help Damian Priest win this match. Kevin Owens comes out. They get JD, but Damian Priest doesn't want anything to do with JD. He's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, I've told you time and time again, he's causing this friction in the Judgment Day because JD is Finn's friend. But what was really cool is, like, I guess during the commercial break, after we go to commercial, they brought out Jerry Lawler, because we're in Memphis, baby. You gotta have the king. Gotta have the king. It was Kevin Owens and Sammy. I thought that was cool. I don't know why we couldn't get it on TV, but, sure, I guess. We get the New Day backstage. They're getting ready for the Viking Raiders. Big match tonight, and a lot riding on Drew. There's this one great camera, spot where, Drew is standing there and Tozawa's there looking at a picture, and they're both looking, and Tozawa's like, ah. Then Matt Riddle's like, what do you think? And it's a picture of Drew and green tights, matching gear. And he's like, we got to have matching gear, right? And Drew's like, I don't know about this whole tag team thing, and the Mick Riddle and everything like that. It was just a fun little spot. He's like, come on, man. Me and you got out there with the New Day. They're going to face Viking Raiders. We got to get out there. We got to sit out there. That's what good tag teams do. And Drew's just like, I don't know. I'm playing these two back to back just because I really like these two's chemistry, and I like the fact that we're going to do this whole McRiddle thing. Then we had a Rhea Raquel package for their big match at Payback this Saturday. Then Becky's backstage, and then we get L.A. Miz. No. Comes out, he's dressed up like LA Nightman, and the best part is Wade Barrett's like, oh my God, we got a super mega star here No, it's not. It's LA Miz. And he cuts I think one of his best promos in a very long time. So he's mocking LA Knight, and then he goes into being the Miz, and I think this is a really good promo. I was like, holy shit, okay, Miz. Miz is one of those people that always surprise me. He has those skills, and once he comes out and just lays down the gauntlet, man, he is incredible. So, Seth backstage. He's ready to come out tonight and call out Shinsuke. They have their big match at Payback as well this Saturday. Ricochet just walks by him and says, just like, hey, it's up, and he walks off. Next up, we have the New Day versus the Viking Raiders, and they're with Valhalla. Matt and Drew are on the side, watching the match ringside, okay? They were in some fucking chairs. I don't know where I was going with that, but this was a hard-hitting match, but Viking Raiders for the win. And I was like, okay, but where are we going with this rivalry? It just seems like it's like they turn it out every week. But I would say the best part about this whole thing was the fact that Drew was going to throw this chair, and he hit Xavier right in the face, and I was like, oh my God, poor Xavier's dead. Drew, and help. Basically, this is why they lost the match, because Kofi was getting his ass kicked most of this match. So, Viking Raiders for the win. Now we move on to next week. Judgment Day are backstage. Finn and Damian are fighting. Then Rhea's had enough. She says, hey, we can't have this. I already have people coming after me now because they think we're weak. Raquel Rodriguez and everything like that. They go, stop this now. Get it figured out, or mommy's going to get it figured out. And then we had the beautiful Bray Wyatt tribute video. And, there was a lot of love tonight, too. The armbands and everything. And I rewatched this video package, and I cheered up again because it's still there. It's still fresh, man. We got Kofi and Matt Riddle and Drew backstage where Xavier's being looked at in the medical bay, and Drew's like, I'm so sorry. Kofi's like, yo, it's not your fault. But then Drew's like, you know what, Matt? Me and you are going to take on the Viking Raiders. We're going to whip their ass, Well, he didn't tell him that. He just says he wanted to get their hands on him. But essentially setting up a tag team match with Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle versus the Viking Raiders. I believe it was a tag team tornado match, if I'm correct, of what they set up for next week. So I was like, okay. We have Ludwig Kaiser versus Chad Gable. Ashish. But before then, Gunther gets on the table, cuts a promo because he's the ring general. My wife hates it when I do that, because when he comes out, I'm like, it's the ring general. She goes, why do you have to always fucking say that when he comes out? I was like, because he's Gunther. He's the ring general. Like, show some respect, She's like, I don't know, sometimes big head boy. And I was like, just know the ring general deserves our respect. That's it. That's all. But he cuts a promo and he's pissed, and he's like telling Chad next week, hey, they will go at it for the Intercontinental Championship. And I was like, oh, because Chad beat, I'm not going to do quotations, but he did get a win over him, but it was a count out. So Gunther says he's mad because this is the first time he's been beaten, and it's a count out. But he says, all my attention is on you, Chad. And a lot of whoop that trick chants tonight. I was like, okay, whoop that trick. But we got a great match between Ludwig Kaiser, Chad Gable, the Matt Magician. You got Alpha Academy on the outside. You got Otis, oh yeah, out there. But it ends in a DQ. And it's just a straight up beat down. Gunther comes back out and he lays waste to Chad Gable. Chad had a few little licks to get back to him, but nope. This is going to be a war next week, and I'm excited. I'm excited again to see these two because their first match was great. So I know this one's going to be even greater, and I'm pulling for Chad. But they keep mentioning, like, if Gunther wins, he will be going on as the longest reigning, defending Intercontinental Champion. So I was like, okay, now we will see what happens next week. Seth Rollins comes out. He calls out Shinsuke, and there's this really great video package that plays, and it's just him, the greatest non-Bond villain ever, Shinsuke Nakamura. I love this Shinsuke. I love the fact that they have the subtitles. They're letting him just be himself. The things he's saying is like, I'm going to hurt you so bad. Your wife is going to have to help you out of bed. You won't be able to walk your daughter down the aisle. All this stuff. And I'm just like, damn, Shinsuke. I really like this dark side that you're bringing here. But Seth goes, oh, that's it? That's all you're going to do? Huh? And he gets laid out by Shinsuke, and Shinsuke grabs him and gets that big smile. And I was like, okay, all right, And I didn't know this until afterwards because I was looking on X and everything like that. But Bray Wyatt's presence, too, was here when Seth's talking. Got the armband, and if you look at the plates on the side, like he had the Fiend plate for Bray, and I was like, oh, man. And that, because I was like, I didn't see that. I was paying attention to Shinsuke and the story, and those little things they're putting in there, and I'm just like, oh, that's just a touch of class by our world heavyweight champion Seth freaking Rollins. Sami and KO backstage, they're getting pissed, and they're saying at Payback because the Universal Undisputed Tag Team Championships are on the line, and they're at Payback. And then not only is going to be a tag team match against Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest for those tag team titles, they said it's going to be a Pittsburgh Steel City street fight. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's let the chaos begin. And this card is looking like a banger. So I can't wait until we do the picks and predictions on this pay-per-view, because I was like, man, coming off All In, and now we're going into Payback, and then All Out's like the next night. So, it's a big weekend, and it's our state county fair. So, lots going on. Tommaso Ciampa versus Bronson Reed is up next, man. Tommaso Ciampa for the win. And I'm like, man, my boy Bronson Reed, I'm like, are you ever going to get any push, shine, or anything like that? Or is this rivalry going to go back and forth? Especially Ciampa, like, these two, I believe, should be in some form of, like, the main event status or whatever. But also, too, that's them. They need to grab the quote-unquote brass ring, break the glass ceiling, get out of there and show something different and new. And I think Ciampa can be that. I think he can be our next world champion sometime in the future. Becky Lynch backstage interview being asked, like, is this no falls count anywhere match with Zoe tonight smart? She goes, I've had second thoughts on this and that, but when I get Trish in that cage, I'm gonna whoop that ass. That's what's gonna happen. She's gonna beat that ass. Ugh. Rhea Ripley comes out with Dirty Tom. And Tiffany Stratton's in the crowd as well. So I'm wondering what we're hinting at there. Rhea Ripley has her match against Raquel Rodriguez. She tells Raquel, like, hey, I saw your little video package, was earlier tonight, and you want to cut me down the size? Yeah, hell no. That's not what's gonna happen, because I'm Rhea freaking Ripley. I'm mommy, and I really like. And then Raquel comes out, and I was like, I just don't care for Raquel Rodriguez. Like, I'm trying to, though. It's not like I'm, completely pushing her off. I'm just, as a champ of any form. But I was just like, and the wife's like, yeah, I just don't see it. I was like, I don't see it either. I think she could be, a dominant champion, but she needs to change something up. The stupid shoulder back pose thing, I'm like, throw that out of the water, throw it out of the way. With what I seen tonight, I was like, okay, it's a little bit of fire, but we need the full flames going up with Raquel Rodriguez. So Trish and Zoe are backstage. They're cutting a promo, how they're going to beat that Becky Lynch ass in the falls count anywhere. And Zoe tells Trish, I will have her beat down, and, it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. We got a Terry Funk tribute video, and no Cody. No Cody tonight. I was like, oh, okay. No, whoa. Honestly, he didn't need to be here, because he's on the Grayson Waller effect for Payback this Saturday. So there's no need. He's just a guest on the show. There's no whatever, between him and Grayson Waller. So I was like, okay, fine. But we got the main event here. Falls count anywhere. Becky Lynch versus Zoe Starks. Awesome match, dude. Like, I was just like, this is my match of the night. I didn't expect it to be this crazy, especially crazy finish, like what happens at the end when Zoe accidentally hits Trish, and Trish goes into the table, and then Trish gets Zoe, puts her through the table, gets the 1, 2, 3. I mean, this was just a bananas and bonkers match, and the best part was the end here, where Trish has her armband for Bray. She grabs the armband, she looks at it, she looks up, and she looks at it, and then she just starts crying. And I'm like, oh, it's so, like, it's still so hard. And Seth did a little bit of tribute this past weekend, too, at a house show, using Bray's moves and stuff like that. And, like, her doing that, like, it's her breaking down, it definitely hit me really hard. And I was like, that's the way we should end the show. And showing that, this dude was so loved. Wyndham Rotunda was so loved by so many. And all the love this past weekend, all the way to All In. You will forever be missed, man. Like, I seriously, like, Becky, I hope, the wounds heal, but also remember the good times. Also remember everything else, man. Like, that image of her just, like, holding up, looking at it, and then this crying, I was like, oh, man. But overall, good show, great show. I honestly give it I give it a solid 5 for what the show was doing, man. And I got to give it up to everybody and just everyone that was really close to him and everything like that. Just hope you keep pulling through. And it's nothing but love and respect from KMB, the Sexy Ninja, for the New World Podcast. All right, y'all. That's it. That's all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Are you excited for Payback this Saturday? You know, that's a big show coming up, and the card is looking like fire. Oh, okay. Now it's time for a drink. Drink after Monday Night Raw. Like and subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And as always, remember, the New World Podcast is for life. Brother?
No! It's a megastar!
It's not.
Who does he